So I'm taking advantage of this rainy day on the farm to answer a common question about van life. So when we tell people what we've been doing, they usually assume that we are RVers going from one crowded RV park to the next, visiting the sites that are nearby. But when I clarify and tell them that no, we actually are boondockers and we try to get as far out in the middle of nowhere as possible, usually not even within line of sight from any other camper. And their brows furrow, and they often will ask, "Aren't you scared?" We're Trish and Randy. Welcome to our van build, plus where to go, what to see. It's adventure time. If you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Trish. My husband Randy and I left suburbia 3 years ago and traveled all across the country, crisscrossing back and forth to visit our boys. But we've recently bought a mini farm, but we plan on continuing to travel. We're just trying to get everything settled in and set up here. So back to the question, were we scared? To answer that, you'd have to know what situations scare you. What scares me may be different than what scares you. For me, I'm more scared in crowded cities. So for that reason, we do not stealth camp in cities. Many people are comforted knowing that there's a lot of people nearby. I just feel like you're safer in remote areas because somebody, if they want to do you harm or steal from you, they're not going to drive miles out in the wilderness to possibly find a mark. They're going to stay in areas where they have lots of marks to choose from. And frankly, they don't know if we're armed or not. We're self-reliant enough and confident enough to camp out in the middle of nowhere. So sometimes I feel like those people may be a bit less approachable. So a lot of our time has been spent traveling back and forth across the country. We usually opted to stay overnight in Cracker Barrel parking lots. The restaurant closes at 9 p.m. Deliveries do come early in the morning or trash pickup. But it's pretty chill. You can hear nearby highway traffic if you have to leave windows open like we do if it's hot out. But the Max fan kind of drowns it out. Bring earplugs and eye masks just in case. We have never stayed at a Walmart. If that is your vibe, then have at it. But I don't like people coming and going all night long. We have stayed at some truck stops and rest areas. Some are noisy and some are peaceful. We've never been bothered. Some people run generators all night. Actually, that happened once at Cracker Barrel and it was annoying. But usually they're quiet. We also buy food there typically, or we'll buy something from the gift shop. We do try to patronize them. If we need to stay in a campground, we prefer state parks to RV parks. Most RV parks cram people together, whereas state parks will put some nature in between. I've heard stories of things getting stolen at both, but state parks prioritize nature and they're just prettier for the most part, and they're cheaper. Speaking of nature, most people who are out exploring the outdoors are in their happy place. Nature is soothing. Perhaps not if you're caught in a big storm or it's really windy out. We've been there, done that. But for the most part, it's awesome out there. So, what about getting trapped by a fallen tree or stuck in the sand or attacked by wild animals? The list goes on and on. Depends on your fears. Before we started van life, we still vacationed in national parks or camped all over the country. One time we got stuck in deep sand near Arches National Park in Utah. Now, some people did stop and help us dig, but man, we spent about 2 hours trying to get unstuck in the hot sun. For van life, we bought X-bowls and a recovery strap, an electric chainsaw to cut away any downed trees, a Garmin to reach family or emergency services by satellite, and after a year, we got a generator to serve as an emergency backup in case we didn't have enough solar power. Now, we didn't use those things on ourselves except for one time, and that was most recently. But we did have those things on hand to help other people. So there's been several people that we have helped, help pull them out. And then we show them what we bought in order so they can get those things themselves and be prepared. Mainly, we just plan ahead. We follow the weather. We check out the fire and smoke map provided by the government. We try to have cell phone service, but that's not always possible for the places we want to visit. So we let the boys know that they can text us and we will receive it on the Garmin, which is satellite. We stayed in a casino parking lot only once in North Carolina. It gives me an uneasy feeling because if somebody has just lost a bunch of money and they're drunk, I don't want to be in their path. I rely a lot on the vibe of an area. There have been places we stopped and it didn't feel right, so we kept going. Sometimes I'll even check apps that rate crime. For instance, when you look at the crime statistics for Tucson, Arizona, the city looks dangerous. But a half an hour outside of town is one of our favorite winter camping spots. So just do your research. People want to know if we carry weapons to defend ourselves. That is an individual choice that you're going to have to make on your own. I will not be telling you what to do. You also have the ability to change your mind and do something different in the future if you feel that it's necessary. I will share that for 3 years, we did not carry a gun or any weapon. And there was never a time that I thought, wow, I wish I had a gun. If I was traveling alone, I might feel differently. Frankly, Randy and I used to target shoot, so it's not like I don't know how to use a gun. I just didn't want to think about it, where to store it, preparing myself mentally to use it. Am I going to carry it on me? I just wanted to be in my happy place. And we were for 3 awesome years. Knock on wood. But in the 3 years that we have been doing this, we have never had a bad incident happen. Now, if you have, feel free to put it below, and maybe you can offer people more insight on that sort of thing happening. But we did not have anything bad happen. I hope you found this information helpful. Now, go look at the fun stuff. I have separated our travel videos by state. And, also check out our van build. There's a different playlist for that. And our mini farm. Subscribe. It's free and the best way to help out this channel. Ask us questions, leave comments, and give us a like. That always helps. See you on the next adventure.